In this video we're going to continue the update on the transfers, and we continue with Bournemouth. We resume with Bournemouth. Now Bournemouth made in the last week one signing, Jimenez. He's on a loan from AC Milan. He's a right back defender. Yeah, Bournemouth has Smith as a right back defender and Araujo, but they wanted to add another right back, Jimenez, I understand. They want to have a little bit more quality, more depth there. The right winger Luis Sinistera, left winger, right winger, is going on a 1-year loan deal to Cruzeiro. He never made a good impact on Bournemouth. I think it's a good idea to loan him to Cruzeiro from Brazil. Box-to-box midfielder Philip Billing is going on a 1-year loan deal to Midtjylland. This is a little bit surprising. I think Billing was always a very, very good player, very dynamic box-to-box player. But there's so much competition now on Bournemouth on midfield, and that, yeah, I think it was better to leave. If you look at the midfield with Cook, Christie and Scott and Tyler Adams, I think the competition is massive. But Bournemouth, I think, had a good. I think they did well. They lost a lot of very, very good players to very good teams, but I think at the end they did well, and I think they have a very strong team now. I think they replaced all the defenders, and I think they did a very good job. Yeah, Fulham was very quiet on the transfer market, but on the last day they signed a right winger and a left winger, a bit surprising maybe. They signed a right winger Chukwueze from AC Milan on a 1-year loan deal, and they signed left winger Kevin from Shakhtar Donetsk. I don't know the players too well, but at least to have a little bit bigger squad, to have a little bit more depth in the squad. But I don't know the players too well, but it is very, very quiet window. But not one of the players left, so it could be very good for Fulham. They kept every key player, so I don't think it's a bad thing. Not making any big signings doesn't mean it's a bad team, because they didn't lose any player, which is quite surprising. Sunderland was very, very active on the transfer market, and they kept on going. On the last few days they signed Geert Truida. He's a very strong, physical, strong right back defender, or a centre back. Only 1-year loan deal from Leipzig. He's a very good defender. He played for the Dutch team a few times. They also signed Brian Brobby from Ajax Amsterdam, but I think he's a centre forward. He will be a third choice after Mayenda and Isidore. I don't think he will play a lot. They didn't do very well at Ajax Amsterdam. I don't think he's a very good player, but I think he will be a third choice centre forward. At least he's an option to have in your squad. And he also signed the right winger Traoré from Ajax Amsterdam. But they were so active on the transfer market. They kept on going, 15, 16 players, They lost Bellingham to Borussia Dortmund, which was a big miss, by the way. But I think they more than 12 players or so. So we'll see. We don't know how good Sunderland is now. It's a bit of a surprise. Sunderland might surprise us. They already have 6 points. They're doing very, very well. So it might be very, very good. West Ham United, they signed, and I think that was a very good signing, Matheus Fernandes from Southampton for a fee of £42 million. And that was a very good signing. And he also signed a defensive midfielder, Magassa from AS Monaco. And Igor Julio on a 1-year loan deal from Brighton. He's a centre back. But they sold Aguero to Marseille. So Aguero is gone, a centre back, and they signed a new centre back, Igor Julio. Only 1-year loan deal from Brighton. So I think that's it. I think that they started not too good in the league, but they had a very good win against Nottingham Forest. And I think they changed the system now, playing now with 4 defenders, with 2 centre backs. And I think they want to get rid of the system with 3 centre backs. So 2 centre backs probably will suit them better. We will see. Burnley made the promotion, made a lot of signings. Now also signed Lewis on a 1-year loan deal from Benfica. He's a defensive midfielder, but they went on and on and on. So we don't know how good Burnley is at this moment. But they make a big effort on the transfer market and trying to survive. They lost James Trafford to Manchester City. Nothing they can do about that. But we'll see. We don't know how good Burnley is at this moment, I think. Also, Leeds United got a promotion, and you see at the number of signings, 10, 11 signings, and they signed James Justin, who's a very good player. I like him. He's a good player, James Justin from Leicester City. He's a right-back defender, played a lot of experience in the Premier League, so I think that's a very good signing for Leeds United. That hopefully that will work out for them. What we'll see. Also goes for Leeds United too. Many signings. We just don't know how good they really are. It's complicated. It's difficult. Yeah, Wolverhampton did also on the last few days. They signed Krejci from Girona. He's a centre back on a 1-year loan deal. And he also signed centre forward Arauco Dare from Racing Genk. I think he was top scorer in Belgium last year for a fee of 27 million euro. But they needed a centre forward because now they have Fulkrug and Wilson. But I think they are all both older than 30, and I think they needed a bit of a younger centre forward. And they sold Fabio Silva to Borussia Dortmund. I don't think he was ever good enough for the English league. They did well to sell him. But also Wolverhampton is struggling now. They lost a lot of very good players. Cunha, Ait, Noura, Sarabia, Guedes. And I think they will... Yeah, they have a very difficult season. The top players, they left. But we'll see how it pans out. Yeah, Brentford had a very difficult transfer window. They lost so many good players. Yeah, it's unbelievable. And Bemo and Wissa and Norgard and Flecken and the coach went. And they sold now Wissa to Newcastle United. They signed Nelson on a 1-year loan deal from Arsenal. But we all know that Nelson is not good enough for the English league. So a bit of panic there, I think. And I think they shouldn't have done it. That's probably a waste of money. But I think, yeah, they will struggle, Brentford. It doesn't look very good. I don't think the signings are very good. Henderson is too old, you know. Milambo is a very young player from the academy from Feyenoord, but I think he's not ready yet for the English league. Maybe Kayode is a good signing. Ouattara is a good signing from Bournemouth, but surely they will struggle a lot for in the English league this season. They're one of the teams who might get relegated. Yeah, Aston Villa had a very quiet window too, but in the last 2-3 days they did a lot. They signed Harvey Elliott from Liverpool on a 1-year loan deal, and I think that was a very good signing. He's a very good player, technical player, bit of creativity, which is what Aston Villa needs, more creativity. And I think that's a very good signing. The other signing I don't understand. I think Jadon Sancho is typical a player who's not good enough for the English league, and he's typical a player. Manchester United signed him and he goes on the loan to. He went on the loan to Chelsea. He didn't do very well. Now he goes to Aston Villa. He didn't do very well there. You know, he's just not good enough. As simple as that. Now, centre back Victor Lindelof will join Aston Villa. He was on a free transfer, so there's nothing you can lose by signing Victor Lindelof. He's an experienced centre back. But Aston Villa was very quiet on the transfer market. They lost Ramsey to Newcastle and Bailey on a loan to AS Roma. And I think, yeah, we'll see. Yeah, Nottingham Forest was also very active in the last few days. They signed Savona from Juventus. He's a right-back defender, a very tall young defender, for a fee of 50 million euro. I think a very good signing, a right-back, centre-back. I was a little bit surprised because I know that Manchester City was looking for a right-back defender, and I don't understand why Manchester City didn't sign him. He's a very good right-back, centre-back, I think with a high ceiling, a very good Italian defender. But Manchester City didn't sign him, and he was only 15 million euro. For me, that was a bit of a surprise. Now, Zinchenko will join Nottingham Forest on a 1-year loan deal. He can play left back or on midfield. I think that's was a good idea. A goalkeeper, John Victor from Botafogo. But Cels will be a number 1 choice. They signed a right winger, Bakwa from Strasbourg. And also a left back, Bano from Botafogo. I don't know the players too well. But it's quite clear they want more depth in the squad. If you see the number of players they signed, they were so active again on the transfer market. 12 players that they signed. They lost 1 player, Elanga, so they want to be very active. They was very active again on the transfer market. They want to be ready for the Premier League. They had a very good season last season, but this season will be a little bit more difficult, I think. But they still can finish in the top 10. So that was the end of the video. We did about all the transfers of the teams. The transfer window is still open until I think even 20 September in Saudi Arabia. So Saudi Arabia, Turkey and Portugal is still open. But I don't expect many transfers. If there is a transfer, a player will be sold. Normally it's a player on the bench, normally a player who doesn't play for his team anymore. Think about Onana from Manchester United. He might make a move to Saudi Arabia, or Ortega from Manchester City. He doesn't play anymore, and I think he probably will be sold to Turkey.